Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome in to the Creative Juices podcast. Back again for another episode, wherever you're listening, whenever you're listening to this podcast. Cannot thank you enough for listening and tuning in to the Creative Juices podcast. Once again, this is episode number 4. As always, I am your host, Keegan Hartman. If you have not done so already, make sure you find me and follow me on my socials at Keegan Hartman1 via X, at Kigo Amigo via Instagram. Fourth episode of the podcast. Previously, we just did an interview with one of my old colleagues, Mr. Rhett Hayward. Rhett, now the director of creative at Missouri State. He's covering all those sports. God bless his soul. Goes into depth about his career, kind of gives an overview about his buildup at Missouri State. Really great story on how he's kind of built the brand there at Missouri State. He's a former colleague of mine. Great story in episode number 3. If you've not done so already, go check that out from last Thursday. Great interview, great perspective from Rhett. But all that aside, once more, episode number 4, and joining me today, he's not only a friend of mine, but somebody I would consider a brother of mine as well. And originally from York, Alabama, my next guest, Jarius Clark, grew up in what he would describe as a small, insignificant town, but one of immense character and charm. In elementary school, Jarius and his family would make the move to Huntsville, Alabama, where he is currently living today. Clark describes himself as being a creature of creativity, thanks to all the influences from his early years and even till now, believing it has granted him with a keen inclination for music and a developing inclination for visual arts and production. And that's no secret whatsoever if you've ever been privy to Clark's work. In 2016, Clark graduated from Columbia High School, later enrolling into community college. But Jarius's life, which we'll get into later, would endure a few bumps after falling out of college. Did I word that correctly?
Yeah, good.
All right. All that said, and we're going to get into his story. I'm going to let him kind of say it himself. Um, I will mention this. No, we'll get into that. I'll save that for later. All that said, we're going to get into his story. He's one of my favorite creatives. You can find him and follow him at Cinco via Instagram, at Cinco5 via TikTok. Do you have a Twitter?
I do, man, but I try to stay on Twitter, man. Twitter is a dangerous place, man.
Oh yeah,
Outside of just like working, Twitter is a crazy place. But I have one. I have one
yeah,
though.
yeah. It's doom scroll heaven, and
Man, yeah. So
it's not
I'll have
just
to send that to you.
it's not just for creatives. Anyways, he joins me on the Creative Juices podcast. The man himself, Jarius Clark, my guy. How you doing, buddy? Happy
Hey,
Friday.
man, round of applause to Kigo, my amigo. You know what I'm saying? Me amigo. Round of applause, man. I'm glad to see you back in the saddle, man, and having these spaces for us, you know, like-minded creators, man, and just chop it up and tell
Uh,
our stories, tell our piece, man.
I normally don't do this, Jarius, but I wanted to read you something because this meant so much to me, and I didn't
Yeah.
share it until now. But yesterday, I was at work and I got a DM. And shout out to Ethan. He sent this to me. And keep in mind, I don't know this individual. I believe he's a creative from the state of Washington. He DM'd me on
Okay.
LinkedIn and I asked him today, I said, can I share this message on the podcast? And he said, absolutely, dude. Thank you for asking. And so I wanted to read this to you directly. And just for anybody listening, this struck me right in my heart. I'll read
Okay.
it. Hey, Keegan, I just wanted to reach out. This is an excerpt of the message. I won't read the whole thing. Just wanted to reach out and say thank you for starting the Creative Juices podcast. Sports design is such a niche corner of the industry, and I honestly don't know of any other podcast that's focused specifically on it. I've watched the first few episodes so far, and I've really enjoyed them. He goes on to say, thanks again for everything you're doing with the podcast. It's been awesome hearing from people in the sports creative space, and I really appreciate you taking the time to put it all together. Dude, Ethan, thank you so much for the kind sentiments. He also complimented me on my work at West Virginia, Missouri
100%.
State, and just
100%.
went in depth on the impact that your story, people like you, Jarius, and what we're going to
Yeah.
get into, it's just so amazing. And it's being used as sort of the segue into my first topic.
Mm.
I think people look at this industry and they think of it as like the young creatives have this sort of cyclical mindset of like, man, no matter how hard I try, it feels like I constantly get that no, or like I feel like I need to be in a better place than where I'm at right now. And
Yeah,
Jarius, your story, you're so vulnerable, like in telling your story, and it's so inspirational in that sense because I've not only taken a bunch from it, but man,
yeah,
I'll let you kind of give some perspective to any young creatives that are really trying to make their way right now, and maybe open up a little bit about your what you're doing currently, and kind of
yeah,
how you've gotten into that position. The floor is yours, dude.
yeah. No, no, thank you. So and shout out to Ethan as well too. Like I
Yeah,
said,
shout out.
that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like I could tell you the same thing word for word. You know what I mean? Thank you for what you're doing and giving people like myself a lane to speak. But to any young creative, first of all, um I have this like I don't know, man. I get emotional when I think about the innocence of a young creative because, and I was telling this to one of my buddies like literally yesterday. He is the public relations manager. I might be saying his title wrong at Alabama A&M University. So he works on like the university side, doing like their marketing and stuff like that.
Right,
And so he'll have student interns called Crew 75 because Alabama A&M was founded in 1875. So Crew 75, they will go out and cover on campus events, off campus events, just kind of everything Alabama A&M and try to help market the university and stuff like that. And so he sent me a video of one of their latest trips to Philadelphia, and man, it was like 4 to 5 different creators, and they were all young, incoming up and coming sophomores and juniors and things like that. And man, as I was watching the video, I was just seeing the innocence in these creators and just that the whole world was theirs. And it's ironic because one of the young ladies said that her favorite movie was Scarface. And Scarface, the world is yours, right? And I was like, man, the world really is yours, man. So for a young creative, you cannot give up, you cannot quit. It may be hard. You may get told a bunch of no's, but I tell you something, man, a bunch of no's lead to something great often. A
yep,
bunch of no's builds character and leads to something great very often. And Keegan can tell you himself,
yeah,
no's and rejection and trying to, jump from different thing to thing to thing. He can tell you himself of how like just sticking through it and being persistent leads to something great, man. So if there are any young creators listening, they're just now getting into our industry, and they're probably working with a college, working with a smaller school or whatever. Man, I know it sounds cliche at this point, but keep your head down and keep going. Take every opportunity with gladness. You know what I mean? Take every opportunity with gladness. And greatness will come from it. I promise you, because me and Keegan are two unlikely sources where greatness is supposed to come from, but it has, and it's just a testament to God and our persistence and commitment. So I want to just say that first, and I just love seeing the innocence in young creators, man. They have this like nothing can go wrong, you know what I mean, gullibleness about them a lot of the times, and they just go out there and create, man. And so just keep doing it, man.
well,
But yeah, for me, as Keegan stated, like my story,
yeah,
um, it is one that I was ashamed of for so long,
mhm,
um, because it is not it's not like I wear it like a badge of honor. I want to say that too. Like I don't wear that like a badge of honor. And I'll get into it. So after I graduated high school, and even kind of in high school a little bit, I was hanging out with the wrong crowd. I put it like that, right?
mhm,
Hanging out with the wrong crowd, getting involved in gang activity and street activity, um, just kind of immersing myself in that world. Like I said, I had already had influences from that world already, and so it wasn't as natural as others, but it was kind of like the next step. You know what I mean? Was just kind of get into the streets, and so I was uh, up until up until 2019, and even a little bit after, because I was still kind of weaning myself off of it and away from it. But up until 2019, man, and when I got into some trouble, um, some tragedy, you know, um, and my life shifted, forever after that. Like I said, I don't wear that as a badge of honor to say, oh yeah, I made it out the streets. I don't wear it as a badge of honor. If anything, I would have loved to been introduced to something like this way before I even thought about, aligning myself with the wrong type of lifestyle, right? But yeah, man, I got into some trouble. Some tragedy has happened, and I've tried to work to one, you know, build my character back up from that to become a new person, become a new man, and but also to honor my past, what has happened in my past, to honor it, right? To say like, hey, I know what has happened in my past, and so I am going to do what I can to distance myself from who that person was. And I feel like by doing that, by becoming the best version of myself, I can honor my past. And so that's what I'm working on, now. And I will even say this, man, the trouble I got into landed me, it landed me in jail
Mhm.
and ultimately a sentence,
Mm.
ultimately a prison sentence
Mm.
that was reduced
Wow.
by the grace of God. I mean, only God, by the grace of God, reduced to just serving, a small amount of probation. And during that time, I have completely, flipped the script, and God has completely rewritten my story. And that has led me. One, it led me to Keegan. We'll get into that, but that has led me into what I do now, man. So I am a full-time videographer, video editor. I dabble in cinematography. It's kind of weird saying I'm a videographer and a cinematographer. Like sometimes those things aren't the same thing. Sometimes people just need you to pull the camera out in the game and just kind of get to it. And we can't set up lights and write a script and do all this type of stuff. But yeah, man, full time videography, cinematography, video editing, like producer. I produce certain things, kind of where I'm just kind of giving my input and hey, let's set it up this way and stuff like that. And other people kind of take the project on from there. I work with, or I have worked with, like Division 1 athletic conferences, being like a freelance for them. I've freelanced for the NCAA.
Mm.
I've just done some incredible and awesome things that I could have never imagined doing. Beforehand, I never even knew what any button on a camera did. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know what button on any camera could even do. And now here I am, doing what I do. And we can get into like more of the details, but I will say, like I said, man, landing in the trouble that I landed in, this unfortunate situation that I landed myself in, and also I would even say unfortunate situations that I influence other people to go down, like paths that I influence other people to go down in life. Just like I said, I used to be ashamed of it, and I don't wear it as a badge of honor. But I mean, I can't change the past. I only can honor it and try to change my future. Um, like I said, man, when I got in trouble, my son wasn't even born yet. His mom was like, I don't know, man, probably like 3 or 4 months pregnant. So my son wasn't even born yet. But once I became a dad, man, I knew, I had to do something, right? I had to do something to click. And so I started out even like on my phone. I would go out to, because I'm a former athlete too. So I would go out to these high school games, to some of the games where I knew some of the players and like some of the younger players, and I would say, hey man, is anybody anybody giving you any highlights? Anybody, what I mean, like creating you anything to get recruited? I'm like, no man, don't nobody come out to our games, man. Nobody. Da, da, da. So I was like, all right, man, don't worry. And I was just doing this, Keegan. I promise you, I was only doing this to be to change my environment,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
I was only doing this so that like my environment could be different from what it usually was, right? I went hanging out, what I'm saying, in the streets, in the trap, in the club. I was trying to find different places. So even my relationship with Christ grew, right? Because I'm going to church, I'm going to Bible studies, I'm going to extracurricular things like just trying to have different outlets and different environments. So I would go, and forgive me if y'all can hear this minor league baseball game going on behind me.
Hey, which game are you at?
I'm at the Rocket City Trash Pandas, right?
Yeah. Shout out Trash Pandas.
Shout out to
Let's
Trash Pandas,
go.
man.
Who they
One of
play?
the one of the most prominent or recognizable minor league brands in
Yeah.
all of the minor league, all the
Going
minor leagues.
straight. Going
They
straight.
are playing our very own Birmingham Barons, so it's kind
Let's
of like
go, Birmingham. Let's go. Shout
so
out
it's a home
Birmingham.
game either way. It's a home game either way. Either way.
Absolutely. But no, carry on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was going, man, to these games, filming with my phone, and putting together like little highlights, whatever. And it was strictly like recruiting based. Like if you've seen these recruiting videos where they just have like an iPad in the stands and they're just watching you know, and that's just right. That's all you're getting. That's what I was doing. And man, I remember, man, I feeling so stupid, right? I'm like down here under the goal. I'm just like, man, this is so freaking stupid, man. Everybody's looking at me. I look stupid with this little phone filming it. Like I was just so insecure. But but I was trying my hardest, bro, to like really, like I said, flip the script, turn my life around, and put myself in environments completely different from what I was used to. And and I remember, man, this one family, this one parent. I told her that I would put together because she was like, man, trying to get my son, some exposure, and nobody's out here coming. Can you put together like some highlights of them? I said, sure. At that time, Keegan, I remember in October of 2022, I had went to our public library up here, and I filed on what's the name of that website, man? I don't even remember the name of the website, but I filed for my LLC, bro. I was trying anything and everything, bro. I filed for my freaking LLC, and I opened up a business bank. I mean, I did everything, dude. Didn't even own the camera. I didn't own it. I didn't own a freaking camera, dog. And I was like, all right. I signed up for FreshBooks. I sent this woman an invoice for $75. Keegan, at the time, I wasn't working either because I wasn't working because of me, because of like getting in trouble. That background check of mine, it was getting rejected everywhere, anywhere, man.
Yeah.
I applied for like Papa John's to like be a pizza delivery guy, and when they got back with me, was like, oh, we can't hire you because of the background check. I was like, man, I'm done, bro. Like, I am done. If I can't deliver pizzas, then I'm done. Like, I'm not even trying anymore. I was defeated.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm done, man. I'm not applying for nothing else. I'm done. I'm gonna do my own thing, right? So I charged this woman $75 for that, and I was so terrified of charging. That was like I felt like I was charging her 7,500. I was so afraid, man. I was asking people close to me, like, man, do y'all think it's too much money? $75, man, it's too much money. They was actually telling me yes. They was like, yeah, I don't know, $75, that's too much. You might only charge 30, maybe 35. It was like, what I'm saying? I was like, how am I supposed to make a living? You know what I mean? And I was so terrified, but I went with my gut, and I was like, no, I'm gonna charge her $75. And man, I was sweating, waiting for that invoice to get paid, dog. And after like 3 days, and I didn't get any response. I was like, I knew it. It was too much money. Oh, I should have never charged that much. Oh, what was I thinking? And I remember just scrolling back through my email, dog, and whole time, Keegan, she paid that email and she paid that freaking invoice like as soon as I sent it to her, and I didn't even see it. So for 3 days, I was worried, stressing, trying to figure out, well, I got to do something different now. And she had been paid the invoice, man, and it was just like that was my first time. I think I even still got the picture. I screenshotted it, like my first paid invoice. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody literally paid me money to record something on my phone, put it together, and send it to them. And from that day forth, man, my
It's
whole life.
been it's been a whole different thing.
Oh yeah,
It's been a whole different thing. Well, man, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, you uncorked the entire thing. It's like show's over. That's it. No, I'm just kidding. No, I your story, and I'll give you your flowers up front, dude. Like you're the only person I call
Yeah.
because you're the only person that gets it from
Yeah.
not only like a creative standpoint. I got a lot, I'm fortunate to have a lot of friendships in the creative
Yeah.
industry. That just
Yeah.
comes with time. But
Yeah.
like from a faith standpoint, like you're the voice of reason. And I know that
100%.
your road and your path hasn't been easy. And man, I just the determination and just the chip on your shoulder, like it's just it's admirable. It's eh, sometimes I envy it, but so forgive me for that. But in the same breath, I
Yeah.
just commend you for being so determined and just
Yeah.
having that chip on your shoulder and the improvement just
Oh yeah. Oh
night and
yeah, man.
day. And I know you can attest to that because it's
Bro,
insane how far
it
you've
is, bro.
come. We met
Yeah.
back in 2023 when I was a freelance social media producer with the USFL. I was
Dang,
living
that
in
was so long ago, man.
it feels like a decade ago, and I look the same. But anyways, no, like where I was living in Birmingham, and you were doing some of the freelance stuff at the games, and I
Yep.
would see you at like they're doing the player intros and everything, and I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
there's this cat with the gimbal, man, just walking
Yep.
around with the
Yep. Yep.
T6 or
Yep.
whatever. He
Yep.
just try to get the shot.
Yep.
I was like, I respect it. So we hit it off. I mean, off
Yep.
rip. And we kept in touch. And
Yep.
dude, I feel like outside of Birmingham, we've grown closer, eerily enough. Like we
Yeah.
talk more often. Like
Yep.
I mean, when we're going through it, when we're going through,
Yep.
whether it be job searches or personal
Yep.
life, whatever, like
Yep.
you've always been there for me, dude. And
Yeah, man.
I thank you so much for being a good friend and just being somebody that I can go to with life's problems. And because I
Yeah.
know you get it. And I know that you've been hit with the same stuff. And I know we're around the same age, but I feel like I'm
Yeah.
talking to like an older brother. Like every time I'm talking to you, I'm like, Jarius is gonna get it. And I mean, you get it. So
Yeah.
no, but in all seriousness, dude, like I'm truly grateful for you. Like I'm truly grateful for your story. And you talk about, you had to endure, in that old life, and
Yeah.
you choose not to honor it, but you also have to, you choose not to you wear it as a badge of honor, but rather honor it is what your words
Right.
were. And
Right.
I just, man, like those types of things build you. And I know that it's built you. You've come so far, and I know your trajectory is only up. I mean, you were talking off camera, you're like, man, God's blessed me in so many ways. Like it's insane. And it's just like your perspective on life as well, dude. Just so positive and upbeat. I've never seen you mad. So God willing, I hope I never see you mad. But no, man, you just bring joy to the freaking screen, dude. I don't even know what to say. Like you're a good
No,
human.
but when I first met you, dude, like the same sentiments, man. One and dog, you can believe this or not, Keith. You can believe this or not. Bro, I thought you was one of the coolest dudes ever, man. And I tell you why. I tell you why, bro. Because so you said we met in 2023, right?
Right,
Okay, Keith, understand this. I got placed on probation in 2022, right? I got arrested in 2019. My case, my case, spanned all the way 3 years, right?
right,
And then finally, boom, 2022, I get my sentence or whatever, right? So, man, but once again, by the grace of God, I was given another chance at life, a new leaf, right? So it turned out I could have easily messed it up, and all right, they would have washed their hands with me, right? But I was determined, like I said, to change to be a different person. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go into this other route, like this creative route, right? So when I met you, and I'll say this, you mentioned the word envy, and that's so funny because when I first decided to do this for a career, man, God forgive me, I was one of the most envious people. Well, I would say like this. I had recognized in my own heart, and I didn't want to call it envy. I didn't want to admit to it, but I had become one of the most jealous people because I would see people, working for these universities, working for these teams, working for these professional organizations, freelancing, doing all this cool stuff. And here I am, don't even know how to work a camera. But I knew that's what I wanted to do. And instead of off the bat just being inspired, I started becoming jealous. And here's the thing. I had never up until that point, dog. I had never remembered myself being jealous of anybody up until that point. I promise you. When I was in the streets, and for those who know what go on in the streets, you know, it's easy to be jealous of somebody.
Right.
Very easy to be jealous of somebody else and what they got going on. I never was. I never was. I never was jealous of the man next to me. They was like, we were brothers. We in this together, right? I never was jealous of anybody, right? No matter how much money somebody was making, no matter how much fame, how many, what status, how many girls, whatever. I was never jealous. Man, as soon as I jump into this lane and I'm seeing people doing, you know, stuff I never even thought was possible, I started being envious, man. And I didn't want to admit to it. So when I first met you, and I'm talking about, man, you're a sneakerhead too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if people know, I don't know if you keep it on the wraps. And that boy Keith, boy got some heat, man. So he was coming to the game fresh, even with the vest on, the freaking sideline vest you gotta have on. He was still fresh, and I'm like, man, this dude walking around with the phones, he doing it. He got the what sunglasses he used to wear, man? The Oakley,
Pit Vipers.
man, he had what,
Yeah, yeah.
man, and and I was like, but he always had a smile on his face, and I could tell he was just purely enjoying what he was doing. And I was like, I can't hate on it. Like, there's no way I can hate on somebody with like pure joy. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't come off as like, hey man, get out of my way, man. I'm trying to do my job, but like, hey man, move out the way. If you're not official, you got the UFL or USFL. So, hey man, I'm official. Like, get out of the way. Like, I'm with Fox, man. Get out of the way. Like, you wasn't doing all that, right? And I think because of that, man, it was too hard to be jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm like, this man is getting paid, this man working with Fox, you know. And now coming from where I come from, you gotta understand this, Steve. I come from a place where there is not a Walmart. You know what I'm saying? It's not a Walmart. It's no Chick-fil-A. There's no Starbucks. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but your grandma's house unless she's cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so coming from a place like that, and then being around people like you and other creators, like my mind gets blown every time I walk into an arena. Still, you know what I mean? Like my mind gets blown every time I see these athletes around. So, man, and I saw you and we met and we chopped it up and we just had it was so much of like so much common ground that we just immediately. I was like, oh no, this is my dog. This is my dog. And you did, like I said, you wasn't trying to stop me from like getting any shots. You know what I mean? Like you weren't trying to stop me from getting my shot. Like, yeah, come on over here, get the shot. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't blocking me or stopping me or nothing like that. And I was like, no, this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? This is my guy. And we just kept in touch. Obviously during that whole season. And shout out to the Stallions, man. They was on top of the world back then. Shout out to the Birmingham Stallions, man. It made our job wonderful, coming in, winning and winning championships and stuff like that. And it was great. But yeah, man, I couldn't hate on you, dog. And you was so cool, man, to me, and just very genuine. I was like, oh yeah, this is my dog. And you was like I said, man. And we worked with it personally. You was a little arrogant, a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You was
A little prideful, a
you
little egotistical. Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah.
Feeling
Yeah.
like the man when you walk through. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Still,
But
yeah. Yeah.
but
No, I mean,
I was saluting it though. I was saluting it.
no, no, don't salute that because I don't take pride in that anyways. I was a dumb, naive kid, and I'm
Yeah,
still a dumb, naive kid at 26, but you talk about, oh, dude had the freshest clothes. That's a man who doesn't that's not a smart man. Like I made good money and I was blessed and fortunate working at Fox, but I had nothing up here. I could have paid off college debt. I could have paid off credit cards.
1,000%.
What did I do?
1,000%.
I bought shoes and I bought clothes because I was like, hey man, I've never done this before, so
That
this
boy
is
went
fun.
Cactus Jack. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. When that direct deposit hit, it was going straight to StockX. But now it's like, no, we
Yeah,
can't do that. We're paying for
yeah,
everything. But no, yeah, man. I mean, two
yeah.
different walks of life kind of brought together, and it's crazy
100%.
how God works.
100%.
And now look at our
Very
careers, like
funny.
where we're kind of going on our trajectory and everything. And I just
Yeah.
kind of want to get into it. I won't keep you long. I know you got the trash pandas and the freaking barons back there. And Real quick, shout out
And
to
right now, we are
what's the
it is
score?
it's tied up, man, 3-3 at the bottom of the fifth inning.
Bottom of the fifth. All right,
Yeah.
all right. Let's go. Let's go, Barons. Come on, Barons. Let's go. Let's freaking go,
Yeah.
Barons. No, but anyways, um, rest in peace to the Stallions too. I mean, freaking Mike Rapoli. I
Yeah.
could say so many mean things about you, but I'm not going to. Anyways, all right, no. So let's get into sort of
Yeah. Good.
kind of where we sit as far as the create being a creative as it stands right now. So
Mm-hmm.
talk about your career with sort of UAB. I don't know if you want to go from the approach of your buildup of getting to that point or
Yeah.
just getting right into working with UAB. It's got to be crazy. I mean, we were talking about timelines here. Just now, you're working with that staff or have been,
Yeah.
and I guess if there is a future chapter or a future endeavor that you're looking towards, what is that goal that you're trying to strive towards? And
Yeah.
what did that stepping stone teach you, I guess, in a sense, working with UAB?
Yeah. So I try to be brief on the build up,
For
but
sure.
so like I said, I met Keegan in 2023. We probably met the USFL is spring football, so we probably met around April, right? Like probably around April that same year, man. In about September, about August, September, I started working with Alabama women's basketball as somebody who would come in when they got official visits from these top players around the country, top high school players and transfers and stuff. And they would come in and visit the campus, and I would go and basically film the whole. And you guys can find it on my socials or whatever. I would film the process, the photo shoots, the campus tours, if we went out to dinner or whatever little fun event that we probably had the players come and do, put it together, send it to them. I had once again, no idea of what I was doing. I had a friend of a friend. One of the coaches was friends with a friend of mine, and that's kind of how I got that call to come do it. But so that's how I built up my portfolio in like collegiate athletics. I started doing a lot of just getting media credentials, not getting paid, but just getting media credentials to different stuff, to stuff with Auburn. But
Real quick on that, was it ever uncomfortable in that sense, trying to like going in there because you talk about the transition from the USFL and then getting into that
yeah,
point, how uncomfortable or how nervous were you being sort of a relatively new creative?
bro, like here's the thing, Keith. I
Yeah.
was asking myself all the time, what the freak am I doing here? Like somebody's about to get fired because
Who let me
you,
in?
you know y'all let me in. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't have done it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, around every corner, I was nervous. I was trying not to mess up. And there's this one situation, and I'll get into it. That staff, those coaches at Alabama still talk about to this day, and it happened 3 years ago. And it's about to get loud. Hold on. Can you
Wait,
hear that?
here we go.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. Are we about to celebrate? We got a home run? We
It's
just
like
hit a home
the
run?
stadium, but they doing like the noise meter or something like that.
No, we're celebrating.
Okay,
Did we hit a home
yeah.
run?
No home run. It was a
Oh
stadium
my
meter.
God. If we
Okay,
hit a home
good.
run, you better stand up and just start
Yeah.
going crazy. All right, carry on.
Okay, but so this is when Nick Saban was still coaching,
Yeah. Wow.
and we
You're
had him.
old.
We had a recruit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Dude. Yeah, I'm old. So when Saban was still coaching, oh my gosh, we was playing Texas. We was playing Texas.
Right.
Matthew McConaughey's Texas Longhorns. Right. He was there. He was down there. There we go, baby. He was down there. Texas. I'm sorry if y'all ever want to work with me. Let me put them horns back up. So we was playing Texas, and all day, with tailgating, I'm getting footage of the whole event. And long story short, me and my colleague, another videographer who was down there, I brought a drone down there, bro. I bought a drone. I was getting drone footage of the campus of the tailgates. And I had this great idea. I was like, oh, well, when they do the Walk of Champions, because the whole point of an official visit video is to, in 45, 60 seconds, show you to create the campus experience, campus life experience of coming to the University of Alabama or whatever university, and then let you see yourself on campus, you as a player. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to get every element, every aspect. So I was like, hey, what if we fly a drone over the Walk of Champions and get that drone shot of the team walking into the stadium? So I set it up, we fly it, I'm getting a shot. I'm like, oh man, oh my God, this is crazy. It's gonna go crazy, right? Put it in video. Dog, we landed the drone. As soon as the drone hit the ground, it was like seven people in like regular clothes. They come up to me. They was like, "Oh man, was that your drone? Was that you flying a drone?" I was like, "Yeah, man. I'm trying to get this shot or whatever." As soon as I said, "Yeah, that was me," this man pull out a badge. Yep, we got him. Yeah, it's him. Come on. I'm like, what the freak? It was it was it was like campus police or like Tuscaloosa PD, and it was like they was like, oh yeah, we was about to shoot the drone down. We was about to shoot the drone down. And anyway, that was a very bad situation.
Oh no.
Brian in the stadium back then had like I had no service in my phone, so as soon as I walked away from the stadium, all my texts started flooding. Hey man, get the drone out of the sky from the coaches. Bro, get the drone out of the sky. Get the drone out of the sky. Come sit down, bro. Get the drone. Man, and so still to this day, they still talk about that.
You get the
But
shot?
but I don't even remember, bro. I don't even
Oh,
remember. I don't even remember, dog. They took my bags away from me. Like they took so much stuff away from me.
oh my goodness.
Um, but I say that to say I was extremely nervous, and because I was so nervous, I was trying to do, and because I don't know what I'm doing, I was trying to do everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get the most dynamic shot, the most creative thing. Like, hey, let's fly a drone over Nick Saban in the for a women's basketball recruit today.
Yeah, got to.
You know what I'm saying? I was trying to do the most creative thing because I didn't know what I was doing. So I was trying to overcompensate. So I said
Right.
I had to say, yes, I was extremely nervous because I didn't know what I was doing. But I grew. I grew, kept going, kept getting freelance opportunities. Because at the time I was still freelance. So I freelanced for about two straight years. I wasn't affiliated with really anybody.
Right.
Um until 2024, I think, until 2024, where one of a colleague of mine, his name is Ken. Shout out to Ken.
Shout out
Ken,
Kim.
also, oh
I
yeah,
know Ken.
Ken, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
He's cold with the camera. Shout out
Man,
Kim,
my
man.
guy, man. Shout out to Ken, man. So Ken, he hit me up like, "Yo, UAB, we need some help with a recruit shoot." Because at the time, I kind of was I started being synonymous with recruit shoots, right?
Right.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I come in, I do the shoot, and everybody was like, "Yo, man, we need you." You know what I'm saying? Like, we need you, man. So I went back home. I prayed on it, and I was like, "Lord, if you want me to work in Birmingham, because at that time, all of my work was coming in from Birmingham, right? I
Yeah.
was doing some stuff up here in Huntsville, but all of my work was coming from Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, and just like other places. Everybody, everywhere except Huntsville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I was like, Lord, if you want me down there, you gonna have to make it like you gonna have to make it like plain, like make it easy for like make it so like plain and clear. And that's when Ken was hitting me up like, yo, we need you down here. And I was like, okay. So I was coming down there, and then long story short, their creative services manager, Ali Thompson, he's from England, right? So he's from England, and he was here in the states. He went to Ball State University, you know what I mean, and he made it some stuff there, and then he got the role, a little later to be the creative services manager at UAB. I met him. He was like, "Yeah, man, we need you." At the time, like he didn't have a creative like team together for real, for real. It was him. It was Ken, and Ken is really a freelancer and a contractor, so he wasn't really like employed with UAB. But it was him and a few other people, and he was like, man, we're just trying to build this creative a department, man. You know what I mean,
Right.
for our athletics. And so, that was like around November 2024. They called me in, and then I've been working with them ever since. And still working with Alabama. And from then doing stuff like with the NCAA, doing stuff with the American Conference, with SWAT conference, doing stuff with some NBA players with the personal stuff. You know what I mean? And just like networking, man, just networking, talking, and having that exposure and experience. Um, so that's how I got the UAB and working with that staff. And it's been a blessing because for so long I have freelance that I wasn't used to working with a team. You
Right.
know, when I would go to these games, like I was a one man band. So I was, you know, and we can get into it, I guess. Like when you're creating a video, you don't want it to be one dimensional.
Mhm.
You create anything for the most part, you don't want it to be one dimension,
Right.
right? And so, you know, I would find myself running up and down football and basketball and baseball arenas trying to get different angles as if when you see this video, you would think, oh, you must have had 3 or 4 people with you shooting. Like, no, it was just me. You know what I
Me,
mean?
myself, and I, and a tripod.
You know, right. And I had to, and working with UAB has helped me learn how to rely on my fellow creators, you
Right.
know, and to bring something together collectively. And I enjoy collaboration so much. That is one of my favorite parts of what we do. I think collaboration is the fuel of creativity. Go for it, please.
That'll preach. That'll preach.
You know, and so yeah.
Yeah, no. You actually brought up a good point because I wanted to know how it tested you not only as a creative and being able to, because I know when you get into Division 1 athletics or even Division 2, even at that level, your discernment gets tested, your maturation gets tested, and you start to see yourself evolve. I've seen myself evolve over the course of the last few months, and people don't think it's possible when they start, but I promise you, guys, it's like a freaking diet. Like once you start and you stay committed to the grind,
Oh yeah,
you're gonna see the dividends. So
yeah,
like
oh yeah.
how did that test you in from your endurance and like how did it build your discernment and your stamina as a creative overall?
Yeah, I would say this too, and I don't want to gloss over the fact of my motivation, right? So when people are hearing me talk, you know, you got to remember, you know, coming from where I come from,
Yeah.
one thing is one thing. Um, like I said, getting arrested, you know what I'm saying, going through that whole process. With that experience, every time I set foot on a baseball field, a football field, a basketball field, a hockey arena, you know what I mean, or wherever, I'm not I am, and you, as you know this, Keegan, the verse I love, Colossians 3:23.
Yeah.
Whatever you do it with all of your heart, as if you're doing it for the Lord and not for human masters. So I had to, you know, me and the Holy Spirit, I'm promising the Holy Spirit, hey, I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna do this with all my heart, right? So that's one thing, and I feel like if you don't have that motivation, and not to point fingers at anybody, but I see a lot of creators who they're just there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they're
Sometimes.
just there.
Sometimes guilty. Guilty. Guilty sometimes.
Sometimes you pull up and you just be there. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you pull up and you think you're thinking you could be doing something better, right? You're like, oh man, I'm here at this Division 2 lacrosse game, man. I could be doing something better. Hey, that may be true, but you will never get to the better with that attitude.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? And
Real
so
quick,
yeah.
let me preface before that gets put out of context by anybody. I openly and candidly, there have been times where I've been in situations where I'm like, what am I doing? What's my purpose? I've conflicted with that
Mhm.
constantly. And I always have imposter syndrome because I'm so freaking hard on myself. Is that ever going to change? I don't necessarily know, but I constantly conflict with those battles. And sometimes I find myself going through the motions and just kind
Yeah,
of go about it my own way rather than yielding to somebody else who may have more experience than me, who's trying to give
yeah,
me really good advice, and I'm just being disobedient in that sense. It's hard for me to buy in and be a team player sometimes. That's my track record.
yeah. And that right there, man, that right there can be the Achilles heel to a lot of creators, man. And I think we've all kind of, I ain't gonna say all. Some people just they're just ready to glean from anybody. But I feel like oftentimes because, like, once again, I said collaboration is the fuel of creativity. But oftentimes people, like, especially when we first starting out, we're doing everything on our own. The
Right.
photographers, the graphic designers, the videographers, right? We're doing a lot of times we're showing up by ourselves without a team. We're doing something. We're going back home. We're playing around with it. We're trying to figure stuff out. We're trying to improve. We're trying to get better. We're trying to put it out to the world on our own. And you know what I'm saying? So I get it, right? I get it. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to state that I had a different type of motivation, right? I had a different type of motivation. So a different type of feel, different type of drive. So even if I was doing something that I felt like was beneath me, which wasn't a lot, I was grateful for any opportunity, right?
Right.
but even when I was doing something like that, I still was trying to give it my all. But once I started, and I want to say this too, I know I didn't kind of touch on like me going to these like high school games and like Division 3 2 games and JUCO stuff. Like, I've done all that. I've done all that. I've done a lot of free work. I've done just about everything, anything I could do just to get reps. So I've done that.
Yeah.
So if you're in that stage, just continue to get the reps, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're a person in that stage, continue to get the reps, and also continuing, like I told this to Keegan, I think when he first got that West Virginia job, when if you are the person that people enjoy working with, you won't have an issue, man. You won't have a problem with people throwing you opportunities and putting your name in hats and saying your name in rooms that you're not in. But yeah, I've done all the grunt work, if you will,
Right.
right? But being the being a good person, being a teammate, being a positive person, leading with positivity. You don't know who's going to end up where. So I met Keegan. That like people got to pay attention to this. I met Keegan during spring of 2023, working for the USSL. Keegan is now working for West Virginia, a Big 12 Division 1 school, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's say I met Keegan and I was a complete butthole to him. Well, now Keegan is in position of influence. If I was a butthole to him and our paths crossed again, and I'm like, oh, Key, you remember me from way back when? Hey man, you think da 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 da? What you think Keegan gonna do? You know what I mean?
Sorry, dude. I got better things to do.
Right, right. Hey man, I'll see. Yeah,
Give
man,
him
I
a
got you, man. I'll see,
teleprompter.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I'll throw your name
Yeah,
in the hat.
right.
Just
Yeah,
kidding.
throw my name behind your back and onto the ground. That's what you would do.
Whoopsies.
Yeah, and so, like I said, I don't want people to take for granted, and it's not about doing this like in a disingenuous way. It's not about competing with your fellow man,
Right.
right? Or your fellow woman. It's not about, oh, let me go kiss this butt over here so I can have a no. It's about genuinely caring for people, being positive, presenting yourself as someone of value and someone that can offer value, and then just running your marathon. You know what I mean?
Can
And
I
I think me and Key have done that.
can I preface something on that? For
Yeah,
some of the young creatives too, I feel like they have to, I feel like some of them feel like that they might have to be in a position, and correct me if I'm wrong, but some of them you'll feel like it's like for me, I felt like I was walking on eggshells every time I would send a DM to like a director of creative at like a university or something like that. And like it's hard to kind of express your feelings and what you're wanting to communicate over the phone via text. People don't
yeah, it
necessarily,
is.
it's lost in translation.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but one thing I would say, like in those interactions where you have engagements in person, such as like the Skull Sparks conference or something, be authentically yourself. Like, don't be artificial because I feel like most people in our realm, in our field, can see right through the BS and they can see when somebody is kind of being artificial and being authentic. And so I think having a genuineness to you, um, I would say I can't really speak on this, but I definitely deal with pride and ego, and that's one thing that I try to battle. And I guess that was my next question. It's like, how have you kind of navigated that as well? I am still navigating it. It's such a struggle for me, bro. This field is so vicious in a sense because it's like it brings out your pride and your ego
yeah,
because you
yeah,
want to
yeah,
share your
man.
work. You want to share your work all the
Yes,
time. And it's
yes,
just like I can't be addicted to this. Why?
yes, yes. Um, and like I know me and you have talked about that off screen a
Oh,
lot,
ad
but I want to, I
nauseum.
want,
All the time. Come
Yeah,
on now.
I still wanna give you your flowers, man, about this, how far you come, and is the introspective that you have about yourself. Like, hey, I know what's in here, but I combat it the best way I can, and that's good, man. We all have inner battles.
Right.
We all have inner battles,
Right.
but you're combating those, man. So I want to give you your flowers. We're gonna keep going. But
Thank you.
I will tell you exactly how I dealt with it at a time. So there's another creator who I was extremely, like, when I remember I told you, like, I started becoming envious and jealous, that I was envious and jealous about, and she works with the Southwestern Athletic Conference. She works with the SWAC, right? Like
Sweat.
a
Yeah.
historically black college and university
I think I know who
athletic
you're
conference.
talking about, actually. Because was she shooting at the USFL?
I don't think she was.
Okay, never
She
mind.
might have been. Her name is Alexis Blue. I'll just say her name. Her
Okay.
name is Alexis Blue.
Shout out Alexis.
And I've told her this. Like, she would post up on Instagram, and I would get so jealous. I would be so jealous, bro. Because I'm like, man, she doing some great things. Her work is great. I'm like, I started getting jealous because, I didn't go to college to do this,
Right.
right? I didn't go to college in this, to be in this industry. A lot of our
Briefly.
colleagues have, right, briefly, but a lot of our colleagues have. And so I would start saying, like, stuff like in my head, like, man, you only got those connections because you went to college. Or you only got that portfolio because you're using the college's equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't so equipment. Just finding any reason to just kind of be just ugly to people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or towards people in my own head, right? And but I remember in 2024,
Yeah.
around March Madness, the SWAC was hosting their men's and women's conference basketball tournament at UAD's basketball arena. So
Right.
I remember I had sent her a DM, and I was like, hey, yo, mind you, I was hating this whole time, right? I was hating on it this whole time,
Dave
but I was still
Chappelle.
like,
Hey, 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 hey.
but I was still. Keegan is a comedy savant, guys. I'm telling you, he loves comedy.
Chappelle.
But but um but I was still liking her stuff on Instagram, still commenting, oh, great job, oh, this is fire, right? But on the inside, hating, right? But I DM'd her. I said, hey, um, I see that y'all are you guys gonna be doing this in Birmingham. Um, if you're looking for, what I'm saying, some freelancers, and you're trying to put a team together, like for the conference, right? You're putting, because every conference uh covers their tournaments, right? Some have freelancers, and there's some people they actually work like 9 to 5 with the conferences, right? So I was like, you need any freelancers? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm available. She was like, oh, okay, great, great, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'll send you over some whatever, and we can start trying to put this team together and get together. I was surprised, right? Because I was like, oh, okay. But and eventually we did it, and man, that week alone, the SWAC's like analytics, like their numbers, was right up there with some of the like Power 5
Wow.
schools, Power 5 and Power 4 schools, like analytically,
Wow.
like across social platforms. And so that's a testament to the team we put together, and the coverage, and the stuff we got out. Now, the content wasn't on par with, like, let's say, a SEC, right? But the numbers, they were up there. I ain't gonna lie. They were up there, right?
Y'all were nice
Um,
with it.
but I say that to say I combated it by chasing it head on. I
Hmm.
reached out to her. I position myself as somebody to serve.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
hey, how can I serve you and y'all's mission in
Right.
any way, shape, or form?
Hmm.
Even though, on the inside, I was hating, I was resenting, but that was all me projecting, man. I was insecure about myself. I wasn't confident in myself. I was doubting my own abilities, and if I would ever make it in this industry. all of it was projecting, dog. I was projecting it to everybody and anybody I could. I was saying, I was looking at myself like, oh man, I should have went to school. Why didn't I go to school? I could have been doing it. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, I chose the alternative routes in life when I should have just, stayed in school and stuff like that. So I was projecting, man. I was angry at myself. I was
Right.
projecting. But I got in front of it and I offered my services and she went for it. And ever since then, she has been my one of my biggest advocates. So
Wow.
she puts my name in spaces and places all the time she hits me up about opportunities and stuff like that. Right? And so that's what I would say to people who are kind of navigating that about this pride and this ego, man. A lot of times you literally have to kill that and offer yourself as a servant, even if you feel like you're better than the opportunity, even if you feel like you're more qualified for something. It does not matter, man. If you position yourself as someone who will serve first, then you will be served eventually. You see what I'm saying?
That is really good advice. That's actually really profound. And you never shared that story before, but I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's really good advice. And man, I mean, wow, like that's a testament to boldness. And then I
Yeah.
think it's also a testament to humility as well. Two of your strongest traits as your dear friend, in my humble opinion of yours, boldness and humility. But
Yeah.
you speak of boldness and humility, man. You talk about and I won't keep you for too much longer. I got a couple more questions. And as always, if you
Yeah.
haven't already, Cinema Cinco at Cinema Cinco on Instagram. It's at
Yeah.
Cinema Cinco 5 on
Yeah.
TikTok, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
find him and follow him. Look at his content. Just freaking, if you got a portfolio, send it over so I can link it in and we can get you some track, people
I
looking
got you.
and everything. All
I
right.
got you.
No, getting you some traffic, man. Shameless
Yeah.
plug. But
Appreciate
anyways, no. You talk about humility and boldness, and I feel like those are some of the traits that it takes to be a father. And I don't have a Keegan Jr. Heck, I don't even have a Mrs. Hartman around.
it. It'll be awesome to have a Keegan Jr., man.
Oh
Coolest kid
God.
ever. I already know.
Lord willing, good God, God bless that kid if it ever comes
Yeah.
to fruition. But in the meantime, I've still got growth and maturation to go. But you talk about being in that point in your life where you're a father now, and how has that changed your perspective, not only as as a man, but balancing, being a creative and then just kind of turning that switch and then being a
Yeah.
father.
Man, being a father is the greatest thing that ever happened to me outside of giving my life to Christ.
Mm,
Being a father is the greatest thing that ever happened to me, man. And anybody who like when y'all, look me up and go to my pages, you'll see I don't that's not just talk, that's not just lip service. You know what I mean? My son
yeah,
is all over my page.
yeah,
Um, and I love it because my son gets to come with me when I work. Take your kid to work day all the freaking time. Like he's with me at Alabama, he's with me at UAB, he's with me right now. He's just, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's just down there. Like he's always with me. But I love the fact that I get to show him things I never saw before. Man, my son, and anybody who says they can't do both, I beg to differ, right? I really beg to differ. My son, a lot of the things that my son will be, that if he whatever he wants to do in life, it's one phone call away, dog. One phone call away. Hey, Dad, I wanna make graphics and I wanna put my stuff on billboards and T-shirts and merch and da da da. All right, let me call Keegan.
I got you.
Hey,
I got you.
let me call Keegan. Hey, Dad, I wanna da 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 da. Hey, I wanna put. All right, let me call such like whatever he wants to do, man. We are one phone call away, seriously, and that's a testament
Absolutely.
to one my character, of how I treat people that I meet.
Yeah.
They just the UAB baseball team recently gifted my son a Cam Woods, like an actual like baseball bat. It's kind of like a like it's a real bat. They say don't use it though. You know what I mean? But it has his freaking name on it in gold.
That's
You know what
awesome.
I mean? Jarius Clark, 2026 UAB baseball with the gold blaze head on it, man. It's the coolest thing ever. I never got nothing like that growing up. You know what I mean? I never was around this stuff. I mean, my son walks through the campus. Alabama like he freaking owns the place. You know what I'm saying? Dapping up the coaches, dapping up the players. You know what I mean? Like, man, who is this kid, man? But man, that's just a testament. One, to the people who I get to work with. They're like family for real. But also, man, because anybody who said you can't do both, man, they just haven't tried. I don't think they've tried, man, because you can. I do it every day, and it's a blessing. But like that's like one of my main pillars: faith, fatherhood, and focus, right?
Mm,
And fatherhood, man, like I said, everything I do should benefit my child,
yes,
right? So my relationship with you, Keegan, yes, you're a brother, but in some way, shape, or form, this should benefit my child as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just knowledge I gained from you that I can pass down to him.
yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? It should benefit my child, man. Whatever I'm involved in should benefit my child, or my children. Vice versa, you and your children, man. Everything you're involved with, you know what I'm saying? Your children are gonna be immensely blessed and favored to have you as a father, man, because you're a well of knowledge, and you're a charismatic person. You can speak to anybody, go into any room, and that, bro, for a child to see their parent do that, that instills that confidence in them. So when they go out into the world, they got that same confidence. They're not shy. They're not, insecure about who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not like, oh, can I do this? I don't know if I can do this. Like, hey man, I saw my dad who didn't even know what the freak a camera was. You know what I mean? Like, so I know if my dad can do it, I can do it, or whatever I put my mind to. And so that's just been an extreme blessing, man. And to see him running around these campuses and at these games and in these meetings, sometimes I'm like, hey, bro, please be quiet because this is like a serious meeting right now. But I love it, man. And once again, my motivation behind it, I always go. That's why I say I honor my past because I'm like, okay, if God gave me a second chance at life, man, do you think I'm not going to do everything possible to like be the best version of myself? And that's what I'm working for. Do I always get it right? Heck no. But as far as the boldness, and I want to make sure I mention this too on the creative side,
yes, sir.
because it takes boldness to be a father too. I ain't gonna lie, it takes a little boldness, man, to be a father. It does. Um, but don't take no for an answer as a creative.
Mm,
I think that's important. Honor and respect the no's, right?
right.
But don't take it as the final say so. And I'm saying this like there's some obviously like there's some honor and respect you have to have with these no's. If you, for instance, we're working together down in Birmingham. You might have been able to go into the locker room, but I can't.
Yeah,
So if somebody says, "Hey, you can't come in here," like don't try to weasel your way through into something, man. Like that doesn't always work, and it's gonna look bad on you. You know what I'm saying in the long run, right? Because people can't trust you with boundaries. You know what I'm saying?
they didn't
But
always like me in there anyways, so I just walked in there. I didn't care. But anyways, carry on. Sorry.
but I would say, man, creatively, if you're a photographer, you're a videographer, you're a graphic designer, you know what I'm saying? If you're anything in this creative space, a lot of times, don't take no for an answer. So you talked about, DMing, these SIDs and these directors of communications or whatever. Uh, Sometimes they may say, hey, no, thank you for it, but we don't need you. Man, don't let that stop you from talking to the next person or showing up at the next game or the next event. Or, just because something is done traditionally in a way, like creatively, doesn't mean it can't be different. It can't have your own spin. It can't have your own creative juice on
Mm,
it. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And like that comes with boldness. And if somebody tells you no, for instance, like we said earlier, the shot of the thing with me flying that drone over Nick Saban and the team,
yeah,
you know, I was trying to be creative. I was trying to be bold, right? Okay, they said no, you can't do that. Okay, now I know. But don't let you know don't let like your an innovative spirit, don't quench it by one, like being afraid. You know what I'm saying? Like
sir.
everything that has been anything came from an idea and came from somebody pushing a boundary, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? So just try it. Be respectful. If you want to, test something out, try to test it out. Talk. Don't be afraid to speak, man. I think a lot of times people who are creative, they're so used to being like they have a behind the camera personality, meaning they're a little timid, they're a little shy, they don't like to talk, they don't like being in front of people. all that type of stuff. But you kind of got to push past that, man. And speaking of skull sparks, if anybody who's been fortunate enough to go to these conferences and stuff like that, I mean, they'll tell you that, man. Like, you go there and you get inspired, and you get inspired to be innovative and to come up with new ideas. You got to start, you got to push past boundaries, and it's okay. No matter what role, if you're an intern, if you're a creative director, you can still push boundaries and always innovate and go for more. You know what I mean? And you did that with Missouri State, man. And I love the episode with the last episode, man, with Rhett, man. And I love how he was giving you your flowers, man. When you asked him who was some of his inspirations, and off the bat, he said, "Man, you were the blueprint." And I was like, "Man, let's go, man." You know what I'm saying? Like that's so true. But you pushed the boundaries, man. Like, hey, we can do this. Who's telling us we can't do it? And then they're like, actually, nobody said we can't do that. You're like, all right, well, let's do it then. You know what I mean? Like, you know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
I knew they didn't have any checks and balances. It was rhetorical, but needless to say, I'm proud that Rhett, continued to build the architecture and what he's doing now. I mean, sometimes I don't feel deserving of those flowers because I'm like, dude, I just did one idea and one idea turned into about 300 ideas and just
Exactly.
so on and so forth. And I felt like the more I've thought about that episode and the more I've marinated with it wasn't my place to build it. It was my place to build the foundation and let
Hey,
somebody build
freaking
off of
man.
that. And
Yeah,
Brett's the guy to do it. And sometimes I
yeah.
feel like, man, did I pass up a good opportunity before me? Like, was it wrong of me did I do the right thing? And it's like I thought about it in the episode in the moment. I'm like, without Missouri State, there is no West Virginia. So like that stepping stone had to happen, and that leap of faith to get to West Virginia had to happen.
Yes, sir.
And so if I did it otherwise, if I did it out of selfish desire, it probably would have led me in a different direction. So I'm grateful that Rhett was able to step up when he did at the time he did to take it on and ultimately build what he's done so far. And I know he's going to go as far as he can, but um,
Yeah,
man,
man. After that episode, we were talking about his baseball stuff, man. I immediately went to Most State Baseball, was looking at the pages, man, and like we talk about when they made the regional, how he had the different mascots,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the eyes of the mascots. I was like,
That boy is nasty. Who comes up with this? Yeah, no,
but that's what I mean. That's what
yeah,
I mean. Pushing.
yes,
That's the essence of creativity, bro. Like trying
exactly.
to find something that isn't normal, or trying to find a unique way, the different perspective that something. And this is kind of getting into cinematography and videography now. Like when
No,
you
you're
look
good.
at something, like when I go to a game or an event, and I'm looking at this event. Okay, in what ways can this be viewed? In what ways can this be seen? You
Mm,
know what I mean? Like, can it, can it be seen from a bird's eye view? Can it be seen, under? Can it be seen in between something? Can it be seen, you know what I mean? Just like, in what ways can this be experienced visually, right? Like the optics of it, but then sonically. In what way can you be immersed in this thing? You know what I'm saying? In this environment. In what ways? If you're watching the game, you're not hearing what the game commentators are saying. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, what the game commentators are saying and what just the fans on the field are saying are the same things. And like, it's so crazy to kind of blend those worlds together, man. And I would say this: the Milwaukee Brewers are some of the best in just everything at doing that, man. And that's like somebody I just man, if I can get to a level like that, that creative team is insane, bro. And across all sports, it doesn't matter. The Milwaukee Brewers, the way they blend how you can perceive a sporting event, it's like you're not even at a sporting event anymore, bro. It's like you're at an art museum.
it's chef's kiss. It is
You know what I
truly
mean?
chef's kiss. They do phenomenal work from their videography staff. It is chef's kiss. I saw their spring training stuff. I'm
Oh, it's
not new to
crazy.
this. That some of the stuff they've done is insane. It just absolutely insane. But you're
It's
right.
insane, man.
100% right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I want to pivot real quick because I don't want to keep you any longer than I have.
We can talk for the rest of the night, you my dog.
I appreciate you, buddy. And likewise,
Yeah,
real quick,
yeah.
pet peeves. Do you have any pet peeves as a creative?
Yes,
Oh, you already got a list. All right.
yes. Um, and my pet peeves a lot of times, bro. My pet peeves aren't like something that like a oh man, I gotta edit this video. Oh man, like no, my pet peeves come on
From the heart. Nope.
the,
From the lungs.
the, the,
Oh,
the heart of other people, man. And I'm not
oh,
saying I'm this is not me. It's not like a hate rant, but one of my pet peeves is when people don't have gratitude for
okay.
where they at, what they're doing.
Mm,
Man, it infuriates me sometimes, bro, because I'm like, you're not honoring what God is doing in your life. God has done so much for you, and you're pissing it away because of whatever. You know what I'm saying? When people don't have gratitude for where they at, it's a pet peeve of mine, man. When people show up to an event and they're like, all right, yeah, I got to be here. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I understand it, man. A lot of times it's like repetitive. You know, how many ways can I film or shoot? How many different ways can I make this graphic? I know Rhett like said it last show when he was like, if we play a team 3 times, like how many different times can I make this game the game day graphic?
right.
But like, so I get it, right? I get it, but I'm talking about
Real
I'm talking
fan.
about
Real
you
fan.
know,
Listen the
I'm
whole
telling
way.
you, man.
Thank you.
I'm telling
Thank you.
you, you know, but it's like, like I get that, but it's like a mentality, a lack of maturation. You know what I'm saying? Lack of maturity, a lack of gratitude for something. That's like my biggest pet peeve, man. Like a lack of gratitude, bro.
Mm.
And you're not gonna get far like that, man. You're just not. You're just not, bro. Um, what's another pet peeve, man? Um, I think another pet peeve of mine is like gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yep. Took the words right out of my mouth.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? It's
Yep.
just a huge pet peeve of mine, dog.
My biggest pet
Like
peeve.
you guys mentioned the UTSA staff on the last episode a lot, right?
Yes,
I
sir.
happen to I happen to know because UAB and UTSA are in the same company, so I happen to know their creative director,
Yeah.
right? And so I sent him the episode. I was like, hey man, UTSA, y'all got a lot of love in this podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? You and your team, y'all got a lot of love. You should check it out. Um, But you guys talked about their time at Skull Sparks and just what they do. Let me tell you something. Those guys there, man, they don't like they're not gatekeeping, bro. They will give the game. They will share the information. Like I was on the phone with their creative director a little bit a couple months ago because he does this series called like Behind the Lens or something like that, where he's just kind of getting B-roll of himself and what he's doing. And I was like, I called him like,
Dylan?
yo, man,
Are you talking
Dylan.
Dylan? Yeah.
Yes,
Shout out Dylan,
yes.
dude. I met
Shout out,
him. We
man.
had a couple cold brews on the top of the rooftop at the Tulsa State Open.
Oh,
Yeah,
snap.
no, I sat down with all the UTSA guys. Dude, we were having a couple cold
So
ones, telling
so
each
right,
other.
so
I
you
know
know
these
like
guys. Jack.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
Dylan. Yeah, I know these guys, man.
So
Nothing.
you know like they're not gatekeeping, like they're
No,
like, you know what I'm
genuine
saying?
guys. They're freaking
Genuine,
awesome.
man.
I love them.
And so I call him. I'm like, yo, man, you in your series of Behind the Lens, you had some of these shots where you were filming yourself filming, and I was like, well, are you walking around with a 2 camera setup all the time? And he was like, nah, man, like I just use my phone and then I color grade the phone footage to make it look like my camera footage. And I'm like, oh man, but I mean, the fact that I can just call him up for something as minuscule as that. And he's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Instead of being like, oh, look at this dude. Now he's trying to do it behind the lens just like me. Oh, I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people that gatekeep, man, and here's the thing. I like you got the West Virginia hat on right now. There's a UAB sticker. Well, boom, I got UAB on my. Don't let these logos, right? Don't let these logos fool y'all, man. We
Don't
all
chase the logo.
don't chase the logo, right?
That's
Us as creators, we're all on the same team, man.
yeah.
Because like I said earlier, you never know who's gonna end up where. This industry is such a revolving door.
Right.
You never know who's gonna end up where, dog. You never know, dog. There's coaches, players. and creators that I've worked with in my career so far that are at so many different other organizations. And guess what they all tell me? When I man, they everywhere.
Yeah.
Guess whenever they get to where new destination they at, new team, new city, new whatever, guess what they always tell me? Man, I gotta find a way to get you out here, man. Oh, Jarius, man. Look, Jarius, if I can, bro, I'm gonna put your name in the man. When I get here, you're gonna be the first person I tell them, and that really be happening. Like for real, that really be happening. So don't let these logos fool y'all, bro. Don't gatekeep and don't, like that's like pet peeve of mine because eventually you're gonna be able to help somebody else and somebody gonna be able to help you, man. We on the same team, dog. We on the same team for sure.
If it is in God's will, I just want you to know this. You and I got to work in the same building before our time is done.
A
And
hundred percent, Key. A
before my
hundred percent,
jersey
Key.
gets hung in the rafters and I'm like, you know what, Photoshop, it's been one heck of a run. You and I we gotta run it. We gotta run a program. So for anybody
We
out
got
there
to.
that's listening and ever in the future you need somebody. Right now I'm comfortable where I'm at. I'll say that openly and candidly. I absolutely love where I'm at. But I'm saying for the future, um, you know,
Hey, listen, 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 listen,
I'll put it in the
listen,
ether.
listen. Put it in the ether. Listen, dog. To the good people up there in West Virginia, let me say something.
Yo,
I will be up there. I will be up there if I get that far. I love what y'all doing. Shout out to the Omaneers. I love watching y'all in the college World Series this year. Me and King was always in communication during that time. I love the Omni. I love Pat McAfee. I love Nick Saban. You know what I'm saying?
what?
Like
What?
I love country
What?
roads. You know what I'm saying? Like listen, listen. We can make this happen, baby. We can make this happen. Hey,
We
shout out
can
to Sydney
definitely
Shaw.
make this happen.
Shout out to Sydney Shaw and the women's basketball team. Big fan. Hey man, like I know some people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we can make this happen.
We
You know
can
what I'm
definitely make this happen.
saying?
There's your pitch. I'll let you do what you wish. Anybody
Hey,
that's listening. But no,
hey,
seriously, real quick. I just want to say
yeah,
thank you from the bottom of my
yeah,
heart.
man.
Thank you for being a
Yeah,
brother. Thank you for being
yeah.
a friend. Thank you for sitting down tonight and just taking each and every one of these questions to a deeper level and just sitting in the batter's box, no pun intended, and just we're really in the batter's box. Can we get a score update real quick?
Oh yeah, score update, score update.
Yeah, what do we got?
It is 7-5 in the top of the mount, bottom of the eighth, I think. You
Bottom
know
of
what I'm
the eighth.
saying? First players are winning.
So I got you one more in. You're free. I saved you an inning, so you get to watch a whole inning. So you're good. There you go. See, look, this
You said
worked
I
out.
saved you an inning.
I saved you an inning. There you go,
I
man.
saved you an inning of baseball.
Hey, brother. Seriously though, I can't thank you enough, dude. I thank you
Man,
for everything you've done for me. You truly mean the world to me, dude. And brother,
man.
I'm your biggest fan. I'm one of your biggest fans, and I got your back. Whenever
See,
whenever our paths cross, I'm praying they cross. I'm
yeah,
really
no,
hoping.
for sure. No, for sure, bro. Like I said, you're one of my favorite people in the world. And that's no cap on that. You're one of my favorite people in the world, dog. You're one of my favorite creators. Ladies and gentlemen, Keegan is one of the most phenomenal creators. Period. He has a eye that's crazy. I want to echo the sentiments of Rhett in the last episode. Like you see your work, he's just like, how did you come up with this stuff? You do it effortlessly. It looks like, I mean,
Ow.
bro, I think the world of you. I think the world of your talents,
Thank
and
you.
I'm glad that you are taking your talent and using it to the best of your ability. And like Colossians 3:23 says, you're working at it with all your heart, like you're working for the Lord, man. No offense to West Virginia, but that's not who you're working for, Chief. You know what I'm saying? You are not. You are working for the Creator Himself. He created you to create. You dig what I'm saying?
And I'm doing it in the mountain state.
And you're doing it in the mountains, man.
That's
So
crazy.
so so now you got a special place in my heart, dog. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you accepted me from day one. You accepted me, even when you did find out about my story, my testimony, my hardships. There was never like a, oh man, I don't want to associate myself with this dude. Matter of fact, this dude Keegan even used to have written me. reference letters. You know what I'm saying? When I needed them, not only to get a job, man, but like as somebody who has a criminal record at times, like those references mean a lot, and it gets you into doors because people can vouch for you. Say, hey, I know what this man has been through, I know what he's done, but this is who he is, you know, and this is who I've met, and this is who I know he can be. And you've done that for me, man, like without wanting anything in return. And so that's why we definitely got to work together for sure. Like it's going to happen in the name of Jesus. It's got to
Yeah, preach, preach, hype me up, boy. Let's go. No, dude.
hey, I lied, guys. It is actually 10-4.
Oh my God.
Trash pan is on top.
Trash
Trash pan
pan.
is on top, baby. There we go.
Well, next week we got episode 5, and look, I'm lone wolfing it. And by the way, Jarius, off record, if you ever want to come back on the podcast, or next week is episode 5. If you want to follow it up, I'm doing a mailbag. I don't know how many people are going to ask questions, but it's almost like a Q&A. So like
Okay.
it just I'm going to be reading questions from the comments, maybe like a follow-up because they might have questions for you. So I might have a 1-2
Okay.
parter here. So part
Okay.
1, we'll drop this episode as episode 4, and then we'll have a part 2 where we kind of do a Q&A and just do
Man, hey
questions.
man, send them a Cinco.
Yes,
It's only right.
on 5.
Episode Cinco.
That's what I was thinking.
Not Cinco de Mayo.
No,
You know
episode
what I'm saying?
Cinco. Episode Cinco de episode, whatever they say. Anyways, no offense, no offense. Anyways, no, if you want to ask us some questions, comment
Yeah.
down below. We're gonna drop episode 4 first. Comment
Yeah.
down below your questions for either me or Jarius or either both of us, whichever,
Yeah.
and just address us in the comments with your questions as creatives, whatever you want, or even on social media. We'll pick some of our best if we get any. I hope, I pray that
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
get some. Uh, I know we'll collab on this on Instagram, so maybe we'll drum up some traffic. But, anyways, that being said, this has been part 1 of our interview in that sense. We'll do it again next week, hopefully. And yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just kind of go from there. But you've been listening to the Creative Juices Podcast, episode 4, part 1 of this interview. Jarius, I can't thank you enough for sitting down and talking shop with me, brother. Let's do it again
No,
next
man.
week, bro.
Thank y'all, man. And I apologize if people came here expecting to learn about all type of videography and cinematography tips and skills, and we've been talking about everything. But
Leave that, no. Drop it in the comments. Forget that. Just
yeah,
ask
yeah,
next
yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll answer it.
Drop it in the comments, and we'll get more technical next time.
Yes,
There we
absolutely.
go.
You've been listening to the Creative Juices
Yeah.
Podcast. We'll see you again next week, everybody.